this is this week's reading. I'm just going to do the card selection. So this is the card selection, pile selection segment, if you want to call it that. All right, so we'll just choose three. I think my guides are saying three cards, and then you can choose from those piles, and I'll show you what the cards are. We're going to choose from the pictures on these decks or the messages on this deck. And we'll go from there. Thing in the background. It's really annoying. There's confetti everywhere. So some confetti balloons. So if you can see stuff on my couch, that's what it is. I cleaned it up yesterday and I came out here this morning. The kids had trashed the place again. So there you go. All right. So what message for group one? What is group one's overall theme message for this week? Whoa. Okay. I'm in my one and only living room at the moment. Usually in my bedroom, but I thought I'd take the opportunity to be out here for once because it's quiet in the house. So hopefully it all works. All right, what is the message for group one, please? There we go. Healing. Oh, that's a beautiful card. Wow. With that healing, if you can see that. I think the video is a bit funny too because of the lighting in here. It's really difficult to get good lighting in here. I don't know why. It's bare, it's sort of better in my room, but not really. I've got down lights everywhere and they're just, yeah, they don't help. So healing is group one's message, okay. We also had an alignment, healing and alignment for group one. Oh, I really like that message already. Seems like a good message. So let's see what we've got for, whoa, group two. Group two, message for group two, or message for group two. Have you got a message for group two, please? Oh, jeez. I didn't think that was meant to be a one that jumped, though. Okay, so hi. Well, there we go. Message for group two. Ooh, well, we'll get there eventually. I've got Brandon Boyd singing "It's Just a Phase" in my ear as I'm doing this. Okay, solar plexus chakra for group two. And group three, I'll do three groups this week. I did two last week. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how we go with three again. I still managed to make a really, really long video. Both of the readings I did last week were about an hour long. So, this is why I try to either do extendeds or whatever, because they're so long sometimes. It's just like I get right into the reading. Group three, awakened awareness, and we also had life force energy flip up. So I'll take a photo of those and pop them up there on the video as well. So you guys can have a closer look and choose your part. Some awesome energy coming through. Yeah, we'll just do that. All right, so the usual, use your inner guidance, tune in if you need to tune in before you choose, and then go with whichever one you feel guided to, or whichever ones, because you can choose more than one. You don't have to just choose one. You can watch the whole lot if you really want to. And yeah, check. Sometimes the chapters come up automatically, so you'll see that on the bottom where the little bar is, like there'll be blocks, so you can just click to there, or you can check the this timestamps in the description when I finally get around to remembering to do them. Okay, and I'll see you over in the readings. There we go. All right, guys, I think this is recording. Oh yeah, cool. I don't know why, because I moved places. It now looks like I don't know, things on the screen didn't look like in the right spot. Anyway, all right, so this is group one's reading. If you haven't met me before and this is your first time here, my name's Alvi. I am a psychic intuitive, sometimes a medium, depending on what your description of a medium is. I've been working with energy for a really long time. I do hypnotherapy, healing, all sorts of stuff like that. And I'm doing these weekly readings, or I have been doing these weekly readings for quite some time now, just to sort of like help everyone get a grip of what's going on, in the collective, what you might be experiencing, what might be coming up for you in the next few weeks or 7 to 10 days sort of thing. Um, and yeah, I like that. My guides will often stop me when I start rambling and just make my mind go completely blank. So there you go. And if you aren't new, then thanks for coming back. I appreciate you guys for always coming and watching and like leaving comments and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah. Let's get into the readings, okay? Let's get into the message. I felt like there was something else I was meant to say before I started, but I guess we'll find out when we it might come out in the reading instead. All right, so the first message you guys got was healing, and I absolutely love this card. I do the colors and everything. It's just sort of amazing, rainbow colors that we all are really when we are, fully activated and healed and all of that sort of stuff. Not that we always, healing is a process, right? We don't ever really, I think there's always going to be stuff that comes up, but we just learn to deal with it in a better way a lot of the time, so that it's not, making a huge impact on your life. And then we have alignment as well. So two messages for you. Uh, healing alignment. So maybe you're actually healing your alignment with something or healing your alignment with your soul path. As I was I was grabbing something from my room, my glasses. I was grabbing my glasses from my room before I came in here, and I was thinking, I wonder if this has got to do with, or not even wondering, it was sort of like a message, but I was kind of questioning my guides. I was like, is this right? That I feel like there is a healing going on at the moment in between these two eclipses. So we had a lunar eclipse. I can't remember the date of it because I'm terrible with dates. I like to say I have date amnesia, and I've been like that my whole life. I never know what the day is or what the date is unless I absolutely have to. So we had a lunar eclipse recently, and now we are going to have a solar eclipse. And in between these two eclipses, I feel like there's like this, there's obviously things going to be coming up. There's going to be stuff going on with healing and alignment, but this might be something specific. And the thing that I feel for you guys, having pulled a couple more cards here, break the chain. This is another message for you, break the chain. So this is talking about it says breaking ancestral patterns, but what I'm actually getting is there might be karmic loops that you are stuck in still, that you're choosing to step out of. This is what was coming up for me. That's right. This is a personal thing, but I feel like it's often when something's personal is collective as well. So yeah, I had a situation that turned sort of karmic, toxic, and it ended a little while ago. It's not the first time that it's ended. It's sort of like one of those things where you go back and you keep going back hoping that something is going to change or it's going to get better, or I've done a bit more healing, maybe the resonance between us will be better or something like that, or the resonance in this situation will be better. But when it ended this last time, and it was around the time of the eclipse, there was a different feeling completely. It's sort of like whatever has happened now, that's kind of the end of it. It's like the karma closed. So I feel like this might be something that you guys have also experienced. It's like the energy of it has changed completely, because there was a resonance of something that needed to be healed, or I don't know, seen or something like that. I mean, it's different for everyone in those kinds of situations. But I do feel like when there is a situation that feels like a karmic thing, it could be, that a past life type thing or soul resonance thing, something like that. When there is that kind of situation, um, it's because there's something there from maybe a previous life or, a parallel dimension, depending on whether you're quantum or whether you're old school spiritual. I'm kind of like both. I figure it's all happening all at once. So yeah, I feel like there's something there that needs to be kind of worked out or addressed. But I don't know if you follow my Facebook page, but I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, I kept getting the message justice. Justice is being served, justice is being, there's a strong sense of justice coming through at this time. And that's sort of it tied into this feeling like that energetic contract or that soul contract had finished. And I feel like for a lot of you, that might resonate as well. It doesn't have to be, with a person, it could be a situation, it could be something that you finally realized that you didn't need to do anymore, that it was actually just some kind of program pattern or something like that, a belief or a pattern within you that kept making you do something that it wasn't really supportive to you. It didn't help you in any way, but it's sort of like a habit, something like that, because that's what all of these things really are anyway. Well, not all of them, but most of them have some kind of patterning or some kind of corded connection to whatever that thing is. So yeah, interesting. That's what I feel like is sort of coming through for you guys. So it might be uh, a karmic healing, like healing the karmic cycle, closing a karmic cycle, and in this period between the two eclipses, it's sort of giving, like, it might not feel like it's fully finished, but you're healing and you're coming back into alignment. And rewriting the future is something that keeps jumping out at me here. Breaking the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. So you got healing twice as well. And then we have devotion. Tune into the portal of your heart. Good advice, as always, to always tune into the portal of your heart anyway. But when you're healing, this is where this is the place where your soul speaks to you, right? So there might be something that your soul is trying to sell you, or your higher self is trying to impart to you through through tuning into that portal of your heart. You are actually accessing that sacred wisdom that lives within us all, that we can choose to connect to or not connect to. So yeah, I feel like that's something that you might need to add, because it's called devotion, because it's not called devotion, because devotion is written on the card as well. I feel like it's sort of like a message to become devoted to sitting in your inner temple, rather than being dragged out into the cosmos or into other people's whirlwinds. At the moment, there's probably a lot of shit going on in the collective energy. There's people, you might be feeling dragged back to something, or wanting to, I don't know, connect with a certain situation or person or something like that, particularly at the moment. And that by tuning into your inner temple and the portal of your heart, it brings you back into your own energy. So it helps you not, hang on, what am I saying? It helps you remember who you are instead of who everybody else wants you to be, which is something that I think we all need help with sometimes in these crazy times where, there's all of this stuff, social media and things like that. You should be this, you have to be that, you have to be young, you have to be skinny, you have to be this, you have to be that, to be anything or to be worth anything. This is kind of like the energy that you get from the collective. So, what am I doing? Yeah. All right. I was going to read from the book about the healing and the alignment cards, just because it's become a habit with me now. Basically, it's become a habit with me. So energy rebalance, energetic awareness. This is the healing card. Let me see, where can I go? I'll read you the entire book about it, but all right, this has just sort of jumped into my face. So color is how we perceive light frequencies. Every color has a different vibration. Crystals are formed through vibration, and each carries its own frequency. I don't know why we're talking about crystals, but maybe that she's talking about crystal healing and using the different colors and those kinds of things as part of your healing rituals or your devotion to healing yourself. Crystals are often used in spiritual healing because they hold the frequency to bring chakra points into balance. There you go. That's what she's talking about. Sound healing is another example of this. Immersion in a sound bath experience aligns the brainwaves with frequencies conducive to self-healing, as well as the body and energy wholeness. As well as body and energy wholeness. Okay. All right, so there's a huge list of things in here that you can do to help you. She's talking mostly about chakras, so maybe doing some chakra healing can help. If you check out I'm squinting because I had to put a light up in front of the computer so that the light from behind me wasn't kind of making everything look like I was in the 1960s, and almost black and white, but where I was at was there is a meditation that I recorded, I think it was like a couple of years ago, Lionsgate. I was just guided to do this like rainbow bridge meditation, which goes through the chakras. It's not a huge specific chakra clearing meditation, but it may help you. Anyway, I don't know why, but they made me say that. So there you go. Okay. Many tools can help us restore our centered state of balance and access to our life force power. When we engage in them, the benefits will flow onto others. Healing is a path to true empowerment and energetic sovereignty. As we collectively raise our vibes and wake each other up, we will see massive shifts forward and old hierarchical foundations will fall away. So your healing is part of the collective's healing, is part of the collective's awakening, is what I'm getting here. All right, so extend the margins of your awareness. Revisit the situation in question from a broader perspective or a higher vibration with a focus on healing. This will help you decipher what is real, possible ways forward, and whether an issue is really a problem at all. This card can also signify the universal push that inspires you to explore your healing abilities, however that looks to you. That being said, too, just as I was reading that, I was like, oh, it's probably also a message that some of you are actually healers and you may be being called into using your healing abilities or exploring your healing abilities and different, what are they called? Modalities, different modalities of healing as well. So that might be something for you guys too. Now let's have a look at alignment. I really just feel like right now, healing is helping you become more aligned with your inner. This seems to be the biggest theme here. It's helping you become more aligned with your inner temple, with your inner being, with your heart center, your soul, your higher self. And every time that we do that and we re-engage, we remember who we truly are, and therefore we are less likely to take part in or to be drawn out of our center, And I feel like with the break the chain, the ancestral patterns, we could be breaking patterns from our ancestors, obviously. But I was picking up something just then, something like, that came down one particular line of the family, say like your mother's people or your father's people, something that is a pattern within the DNA, within the cells and stuff. My brain's not working very well today, but I'm sure you know what I mean. That may be something that you are actually addressing right now, or they're asking you to address right now to heal this, whatever this is for you, because it's going to be different for everyone in a collective reading. And then rewriting the future, because once something is cleared, you can rewrite, or you can change your blueprints. You can, give yourself a different future. What is also coming up here is soul contract clearing. which is something that I can help you with if you're interested in that. It is not listed on my website. If you go to my website, it's very basic because I hate websites. I've spent many years trying to set things up and spending hours with websites and stuff like that. And I finally just got to the point where I'm like, this is such a waste of my creative energy. I could be, doing something else much more helpful. So I've just got this really basic like website where you can go buy a session. If you did want a session where it was soul contract clearing or Akashic records or something like that, you'd have to DM me and tell me what it is that you want after you've purchased and booked the reading or session that you needed, which is just the soul intuitive soul coaching session, the single one, if I can get it right. But anyway, all right, let's look at alignment. Okay. Inner integrity, being a vibrational match for what you want to bring into your life. Manifesting from a place of love over fear. Energy flows where attention goes. I love that there's this like, I think it's sort of like drum and bass track that I used to listen to all the time. It's like energy goes where attention flows. I'm gonna go find it. Hang on a minute, let me see. Energy. No, wrong bit. Whoops. See if I can find the words for it. Song. No, I can't find it. Damn it. I'll have to look for it after. I'll put it on the list that I make now instead of trying to like link all the songs because maybe you might not want to listen to it. I'm going to make a playlist with the songs on there, and now I'm just going to write this on a note so that I don't forget. Hey, right. More attention flows or something like that. And I will find it. It's a good song. Okay. Otherwise, I forget. Like, I don't always rewatch all of this when I'm editing the video. It's only if I know that there's something in there that I didn't want in there or shouldn't be in there, or my kid's letting his wind blow free in the background or something like that that I do editing. So sometimes it's hard for me to remember. Okay, so we all have the manifest, the ability to manifest the life we wish to call in. We do. It's hard because we're so trained not to be tuned into ourselves and not to be in our heart space and not to believe miracles can happen and all of that sort of stuff. Like the whole system is set up to detract from the fact. Sorry, my nose has started getting really itchy. So I don't know what that is. Anyway, it happens a lot when I'm reading, so maybe it's one of those things. So anyway, yeah, it detracts from the magic that we have within us, right? We forget because we get so caught up in trying to, please the system or fit into things. And if you're anything like me, most empaths, right, we are born people pleasers. We don't do it because we feel like we have to. We do it because it's sort of part of who we are as empaths because we want everybody else to feel good. And sometimes that can take things over a little bit too far. And then the next thing you know, you're so busy running around looking after everyone else, you've forgotten about yourself. And that takes you out of your center as well. Not just, emotionally, but energetically too. So let's have a look a little bit further at what this says before I start ranting about manifesting and shit. So yeah, however, we may find our desires are not actualizing as we hoped. Energy goes where attention flows. And if our focus, if our thoughts and focus fixate on something that opposes what we want to bring into our lives, this will cause dissonance. Is there an internal sabotage? This is a very interesting. I really like this. it's a good thing to think about. I always think of it like this. If something isn't working out and I know that I'm putting the right energy towards it, or my focus is right and I'm in alignment and things still aren't happening, it has to be like a redirection, or it has to be like my soul saying, no, that's just your ego that wants that. It's actually not supportive to your soul path. There's a lot of people who are out there manifesting from ego, right? And for some people that works. It's sort of, like I'm manifesting the big expensive car, the big expensive house, the $1,000, the influencer lifestyle, all of that sort of stuff. But really, what we want to be doing is manifesting from our soul, because that brings in our soul legacy. That brings in energetic change into the world, instead of just contributing to the fucking consumerist bullshit that we are all bombarded with constantly. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. Started getting really fired up then. Anyway, blah blah blah. Where are we? Is there an internal sabotage? This is where I'm to. We often have. It's so easy not to recognize that there is an internal sabotage happening. Often things like, there's like limiting beliefs, as we were talking about before, that come up with the ancestral patterns or the karmic cycles and things like that. That's part of that as well. It's like, what's inside me that actually doesn't believe that I deserve this? What's inside me that's stopping this from coming to me? Am I in receptive mode, or am I actually still just repelling everything? All of those kinds of things. Are we, without realizing, undermining ourselves through our language, our worries, and the broken records that play in our mind? So I need to pop this in. Hypnotherapy is the greatest at helping you release these subconscious patterns, because a lot of the time you're not even aware of what it is that's sabotaging you, right? It's just something there and it feels like an invisible wall. So often things like working with the subconscious with NLP, with hypnotherapy, yes, I do that. You can hit me up on my website. I won't go through that again. Can help. Even if you go on YouTube and listen to those like sleep affirmation things, the hypnosis ones, there's some really good ones on there that could help you too. Yeah, so let's go back to this. To bring something to your life, become the vibrational match for it. Imagine what it feels like to already have it. See, this is one thing as well. It's like there's a lot of stuff, or that I don't know if it's so much these days. People are more aware of the fact that you have to actually feel it, and feeling it is frequency, right? So you're matching the frequency of something, which means that it can't run away from you if it's meant for you. But the thing is, there's a lot of this stuff about, writing it out 350,000 times and things like that. That might not work for you. For me, I just get fucking bored. I'm like, 5 times, yeah, that's okay. Then it doesn't bring the feeling into it either. It can rewrite the subconscious eventually by doing things like that, affirmations and stuff. They have their place, but they're not going to fully, they're not going to fix everything. There is a it's what am I trying to say? It's like you have to have more tools than just one, or you might like just using the mind can help, but you need to understand frequency and energy and vibration, and you have to bring that into it as well. If you really want to manifest, if you really want to learn how to co-create with the universe and with your soul, that's where it comes from. It comes from the frequency and the energy, not just from the words. Like the words and the knowing and all that stuff is important. As I said, they have their place. But yeah. Anyway, I just looked at it, it says the broken records, and I'm like, yeah, I probably sound like one. Anyway, so the key to the key the this is the key to powerful manifesting, cultivating the feeling. Prepare yourself and your environment as if what you are manifesting is a certainty, also creates a shift in our thinking. Preparing, not prepare, preparing ourselves and our environment as if what we are manifesting is a certainty, also creates a shift in our thinking. And I just want to point out that once you change, if you start manifesting something and then you're like, oh, this isn't working, and you stop having that frequency, the things that were coming towards you at a certain vibration, a certain frequency, will actually start interacting with you differently, especially if it's sort of like in a relationship or something like that. it actually completely changes it. It's really weird. That's just a personal observation. Um, when we want and strive for something, we create more wanting and striving. When we immerse ourselves in what it is like to already have something, we will be in the perfect vibration to receive it. Also consider whether you are choosing to manifest something from fear or love. Unfortunately, if our wants are driven by or born out of fear, this will amplify it will amplify this. We when our heart motivates our desires, whatever we manifest is aligned with love. Interesting, yeah. So this is talking about, I feel like, maybe there's something specific that you're manifesting, maybe it's the healing that you're manifesting, but I feel like there's a message here about definitely like tuning into yourself. Sorry, I've got the hiccups now too, so don't mind me if I start making weird noises with my mouth hiccuping and things. That's the channel coming through, the energy coming through. So healing is going to help you become aligned, but it's also about just this portal right now, I feel, is you are healing from these ancestral patterns or these karmic cycles, right? And in that you are learning that you can rewrite the future, and what you are focusing on is going to come towards you. This doesn't mean like, if you have a bad day and you have a bad thought, or you're shitty with someone, or something like that, it doesn't mean that that's going to manifest, right? It takes a lot more negative thoughts than a positive thought to create that. I used to get really paranoid about that at a point in my life. I was like, oh, what if I have a really bad thought? It's not like that. Like, it has to be a resonance within you, right? The resonance within you is what actually draws it to you. So don't worry about, saying bad words or whatever. So let's have a look. Let's see. What was I doing? Yeah, that's right. I was going to read the divinatory meaning. Look at where your desires and manifestations are being seeded. If your plans and or dreams aren't unfolding as you would like them to, it's time to take a deeper look at other areas in your life. Is something out of step with integrity? Are you making decisions through fear or love? If it is through fear or avoidance, your manifestations may seemingly backfire to encourage experiences that will bring you back into balance. That's interesting. I like that one too. I know that feeling, and it takes a little while because you start to take it personally. It's like, why isn't this working? And then all of a sudden, well, for me anyway, I'll have like this aha moment of, oh shit, that's not actually in my integrity. I'm stepping out of my integrity, or that's not in alignment with me. No wonder it's not working. I'm doing it out of fear. I'm doing out of this, out of that, like that aha moment of realizing what you were doing wasn't actually in alignment with what you want is an amazing expander of your consciousness and of your energy as well, because it means that you can let go of it, you can heal it. And it is time to become a vibrational match for what you are seeking. Instead of striving harder for something, cultivate the feeling of already having all you seek. When you it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that at all. I don't know where that came from. I'm making up words now. Hallucinating words. You will be surprised at what this shift in at this. Hang on. See, I told you. You will be surprised at what this shift in perspective creates. Okay. So there's a message for you guys, and that's why I need to read out of the book sometimes, because they have a lot of explanations and things that, they make a lot more sense. Don't mind me. I'm not on my normal chair. This is a really uncomfortable chair, and somehow I've ended up on the edge of it instead of on the most of it. So yeah, I feel like there's a certain level of healing that you may be going through, or you may be focusing on. I feel like devotion to your inner temple, or, tuning into your heart space is what I like to call it, doing heart breathing, meditation, things that focus on heart healing and heart opening. They really help with you, with being able to connect into what is in your integrity, what is like in alignment with you, and what isn't in alignment with you, and help you have that aha moment. so that you know, shit, that's why that's not working. I just need to go back. It's like, I like to think of it like it's when you have a redirection, right? When you realize that something isn't working because it's not in alignment with you, or you are stepping out of your integrity, or you know, you're creating out of fear or something like that. Um, Instead of getting upset, right, you need to go back and just go, it's okay. I will just rewire this. I'll just rewrite this in my mind. I'll change my frequency about it, as well as changing my emotions about it. Take this off now. Thank you. Now I don't have to look at my, oh. Okay, so yeah, this is really interesting stuff for sure. I feel like for some of you, this is really, this message is here to help you kind of rethink what it is that you've been trying to call in, and if it hasn't been working, you know, like to give you that message and to remind you that it really everything, right, is in the energy. Everything is energy and frequency and vibration. Like what did he say? Nikola Tesla would tell you, right? But we don't focus on this enough. We focus on the outer stuff. So focusing on the inner stuff, particularly if you are ending or dealing with some kind of karmic cycle situation thing. It could be, you know, it has to be, it could be a situation, a relationship, a work thing, you know, anything like that. It could be everything. All at once, which has happened to me in the past, which was horrendous. It was like it did take a long time to heal. And sometimes I still wonder if I fully healed from it, because I have some, you know, issues with like wanting to work for people and stuff, because I just don't trust them anymore. I'll get there. That's why I'm trying to work for myself, although I don't really seem to be. Yeah. I sort of have a bit of a phobia about that too. I like to do these readings and a few other things, and that's it. But that's healing. Healing sometimes requires a lot of rest and a lot of just sitting in your heart center, to remember your truth and who you truly are, and realign yourself. So there you go. Okay. Okay. Let's see what the tarot has for you guys. I might just get a few tarot messages, because that was a pretty long reading as it was. Um, And I will see when I finish doing the rest of the readings. Maybe there'll be, um, if I do an extended, you'll find the link below. But I feel like this one is actually almost a complete message in itself. So I'm not really feeling drawn to it. But we'll see what comes up in the tarot, because sometimes the tarot is the thing that like makes me want to do more. We want to get more details. Okay. Group one, messages. 7 to 10 days, the next 7 to 10 days, about breaking the chain, healing, and coming into alignment, please. What would you like to want to know about this message? Oh, that's way too many, but I'm going to take them because we have. All right, that's a little confusing, but we have the world, right? The world is definitely the end of a major cycle. But it's doing it, it's like it's ending something in victory, like, you know, it's successfully. You can see by the colors on the card and the image on the card that, you know, she's joyful about ending this, whatever this is, or closing this cycle off, or finishing what she's been doing. Just picking up my cards. So yeah, and that is the final card in the tarot as well, the major arcana anyway, the world. So yeah, that's an interesting message, because underneath that one, we had the wheel and it was upside down. So this is unfinished business will become finished. That's what I'm getting from this, right? If you have the wheel of fortune, all right. So I'm kind of looking at this and I'm seeing like this unfinished business from the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune's got completely different kind of vibe to it, right? It could go either way. I feel like something here. You know, this is talking about something that didn't go well. You kind of just haven't been able to let it go, perhaps, or the wheel. You feel upside down about kind of thing. It's really weird that they should come up like that, right? At first, I thought I just had the world, and then this one slipped out from behind. So I'm gonna just pop those down for a minute. I kind of tune in to what's coming through here because this is very interesting. It's sort of like we want that closure. We want those cycles to finish. We want to be able to resolve whatever it is that we need to resolve to break the chain, to come back into alignment with ourselves, and to heal. And the world coming up kind of gives me the vibe that that will happen, right? But then we have the wheel of fortune in reverse, which gives me this feeling of it could go either way, right? Reverse or right side up, it could go either way, doesn't really matter. But I guess we'll have to see. So it gives me the feeling of there's still unfinished business, which is shit because I want this business fucking finished, right? You don't want to drag these things out, right? So let's have a look and see what else. Can you clarify this for me, please? It's almost like because the Wheel of Fortune card was hiding behind the world, it's almost a little bit like you're gaslighting yourself and thinking it's done when it's not. This might be a specific message for a specific person or group of people. I'm also getting enjoy the closure or enjoy the moment of feeling like it's done because maybe it's going to come back around and the better you are, not the better you are, but the more aligned with yourself, which is, it brings you joy to be in alignment. You know, when you're in alignment with yourself and you're feeling healed and you're feeling good and like you've done what you need to do, you feel joyful and colorful, right? So I feel like it's sort of almost like there's this energy coming through of healing, of alignment, of all of that stuff. And they're saying, enjoy this because it might not be the absolute end of it, but by tuning into that part of yourself who already knows that this has healed, this has been healed, that this is done, or a certain portion of it is done, you are actually rewriting your future. I'm gonna get some more cards. Okay. That's so weird. Um, this also could be like you hiding, you saying, "Oh no, I'm done with that," but you've got something in your subconscious or something that's just like in your energy field still that's got to do with this not being finished, with this like it's called the wheel in this deck, but it is actually the Wheel of Fortune, right? And I feel like it's maybe, you still got something in that energy field or the subconscious or both, because it's kind of the same thing. That, there's still hurt or there's still this feeling of like good luck, bad luck, something like that in a way. I'm just really trying to get this message because there's something there and it's just kind of not coming through the way I need it to so that I can actually speak it. I can feel it. Like I can literally feel it in my heart, this thing that's still there despite this energy of, oh, I'm done with this, I'm walking away, when there's really this kind of feeling of fuck. I kind of wish it wasn't done, or is there a way that I can change my luck as far as this is concerned? Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. Anyway, let's see what else they've got to tell us. That's really going to bug me. Hopefully I get some clarity by the end of this reading. Okay, let's have a look. I'm trying to see how long I've been recording for. It doesn't say. Feels like I've been here for hours. Not that that's a bad thing, because that means I'm out of time, space, reality. But I don't want to leave it so long that it's hard to upload to YouTube. That's my main thing. So let's have a look and see what other messages do you have. That song, the It'll Be All Right song that comes all the time for me, is in my ears right now. So it's like, okay, the devil, so temptation, maybe hmm, lots of interest. What's this one? All right, temperance. All right, so this is definitely, it's talking about finding balance in this situation that you, as I said, I was picking up karmic cycles as well as ancestral, although they can both be the same thing. Like you could have an ancestral pattern that continuously draws in these, like what we would call a karmic situation, like where there's a corded situation, a corded relationship, or contract between you and another person, or you and a situation, that kept coming around, right? And this is you. Temperance talks about finding balance, staying balanced in the face of this, right? This could be the other person as well, if there's another person, right? So this could be you finding your balance, but still being able to, as I was saying, if you're an empath, you'll feel it. Them, this could be them, and they're trying to sort of like lure you back in energetically, or maybe not even intentionally, but just, you don't want to go back into that, but you can still sort of feel it pulling at you. If it's a situation, it could be like, the job that kept offering you good things and they never eventuated, or something like that as well. Any sort of situation like that. But let's just put those back the way they were. So there's two reversed energies here, and they're those of the darker, like the devil can be like, having a good time, but a bit too much of a good time. Decadence, kind of, maybe a situation that you kind of really enjoy, but you also know that it's not very good for you. Like going out and drinking yourself stupid or something along those lines. I'm kind of having a giggle because that's me. Not anymore, but when I was younger, for sure, that was my thing. It was like I loved the sex, drugs, and rock and roll type thing. That was just, what I like to do. But I kind of feel like that might be a situation for you guys, but it's sort of like in this healing, you're finding the temperance, the balance to sort of, let's say, turn your back on these feelings or these energies of the devil, which is, if you see it the right way up, and you guys have seen this before, because I'm always like going, oh, he's hot. I'd take his hand for sure. Because I like bad boys and I'm in trouble with that all the time. But anyway, yeah, so he's sort of like, there's an offer there, but in reverse, it's like, you can offer it to me, but I don't think I'll take it. Thanks. I think I'll say no this time around, because this seems to happen every time I say yes to this situation. When I'm talking about the devil, it doesn't have to be a person the way I'm talking about him. The devil is an energy. Everything in the tarot cards is an energy. It's not a person. So yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, or for most of you, this is going to be finding your balance so that you don't need to feel like you have to take that invitation to come back into the devil energy, whatever that might be for you. Some kind of temptation, obsession, even addiction, perhaps. I mean, this could be something as simple as scrolling on your phone all the time, the dopamine addiction thing. We get attention from being on social media, so we want to go on there more. And, I mean, I don't know, a lot of people seem to be very focused on, how many likes they get, stuff like that. It could be finding balance in that, or it could be something else. The word attention is coming through quite strongly, so I don't know, maybe it's something you used to like to do for attention, or I don't know. Who knows? Let's have another look and see. Have we got some more messages? What comes after the Temperance? Finding the balance. Let's see what happens in the next 7 to 10 days for Great Gun. As far as this healing and breaking the cycle, breaking the chain is concerned. This is it could be that this is part of your healing, right? This could be what you're healing. And by like resisting the temptation, or refusing the invitation, or whatever that happens to be, to go back into a situation that doesn't really serve you, but maybe they're paying you and you need money, or something along those lines, or it could be a relationship where you do feel love, but you know that it's not really the right situation for you, or I do get that kind of like that twin flame longing thing as well. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. We've got this. We have this one. So we have the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Wands. And this, the Page. I don't know why I want to say Knight. And Page of Swords. Okay. I feel like there's a bit of a back and forth energy probably going on at this particular point in time. That's what I'm thinking. It's sort of maybe like you're having to do a lot of sitting in your inner temple to be able to manage the this energy. And this could be collective energy that's affecting you too, like it might not be something specific to you. It might be things that you are feeling in the collective, these things that are topsy-turvy, these things that are the shit coming up. Basically, if we had a solar flare, I think again we're going to keep having those, right? There's always going to be solar flares, and every time there is, it shakes up all the shit, and lots of collective debris is flying around, sludge. I can just see it's like black smoke, and it could be something like that that's affecting you, and you're finding your balance in that as well. I do feel like there's something more personal going on here. I do feel like for a lot of you, this is like, as I said, it's refusing the invitation, or refusing to go back to a situation and sitting in your inner temple so that you can call in that offer that is actually aligned. Whether that be, the nights are off, or always sort of like an offer, an energetic offer. It could be a person, it could be a job, it could be the universe bringing you something that you've been sort of calling in or wanting to call in. And this is where this thing about the manifestation, where that we read in the alignment card, is coming in as well. It's like sitting in your integrity, sitting in your heart center, and manifesting from what you know is aligned, and manifesting from love, not fear of being like alone, or fear of being poor, or whatever. That's what they're kind of telling you to do, because then you get this, it's like there's an offer coming through that's aligned. It's not in the dark. It's not something that is going to create this kind of energy for you again, right? But you have to be able to embody that energy, embody the energy. What did it say in the book? I'm trying to think of the way that they put it. Embody the frequency, the energy of feeling like you already have it, whatever it is, right? It's like this is the final push or something like that. It's like it's almost like they sort of test them, right? And I don't buy that shit, as you may know. I don't believe, I didn't change. Like I've never been religious, but I see a lot of religious type beliefs being implanted into the spiritual community. Like the universe is testing you. The universe doesn't fucking care, right? The universe doesn't have a brain. Not in that way. The universe is creative energy. Why would it fucking test you? It doesn't make sense. You might test yourself, but I don't think God's testing you. I don't think the universe is testing you, because it doesn't have the same sort of consciousness as we do. It doesn't have that need for validation. It doesn't have that, like, I'm going to make sure that you don't do this again. It doesn't think like that. It doesn't have that consciousness. So yeah, anyway, my rant. But anyway, the Nine of Wands is like, it's like that last hurdle. That's what it is. It's like, I feel like this is this last hurdle for you to get over this, whatever it is. I feel like it's something that's calling you back. It could be like you had an addiction, a substance issue, something you were addicted to. Like I said, it could be screen scrolling. It could be the attention on social media, the dopamine thing, or just the screen addiction. It could be anything. You guys, as I said as well, it could also be a person, place, or situation. Just take what works for you in your life, like what sits right in your life. This is the last push for you to get past that, so that you actually are in this energy and not going back thinking, I finished this, but then we've got this unfinished business. This is the final push for you to finish it, to close the cycle. Again, it's one of those things. It's like, oh, cycles are closing. No, you actually have to do the action to close it. It doesn't just, sometimes it does, right? Sometimes there's things that happen spontaneously for us, but for most of the time, you need to take inspired action. And to be able to take inspired action, you need to be able to sit in your heart space and not be pulled out of it by, this, that, and the other. So, this is you taking that last leap over the hurdle. It's not even really that high. It might have seemed really high. It might have seemed really difficult to get over that last hurdle. And it's also the Nine of Wands is that kind of that energy, like, oh, if I have to do this again, all right, I'm going to gather the energy just to get to the end of this. It's that kind of energy almost. But she looks like the person in the card, that is. She's like, no, I got this. I can just step over it. I thought it was going to be a lot higher than this. I thought it was going to take a lot more energy, but it's not. It's actually just me knocking down what I think is blocking me, what's stopping me from actually doing what I want to do, what's stopping me from actually having what I want to have isn't as much of a hurdle as I expected it would be. And then we have the Page of Swords. So this is like stepping into a new cycle. This is something new, like learning lots of different things all at once. It could be that you're, all right, my guide said, this is learning things from detachment. So it might be things about this past situation that you had never seen before because you were attached to it emotionally, or, however that works for you. I know that sounds like really weird, but this is like, I do feel like that. It's sort of like, oh, I see why I had to do it this way. I can see her reading a book, and for some reason, it doesn't usually come up like this for me, but the energy of this is sort of like holding on to the things that she's learned or she's learning. These are all like new ideas and things like that, but getting new ideas and expanding consciousness through reading the book of her life, that's what came up. It's sort of like, the more you understand yourself, your soul, like if you go into the Akashic records or you sit with yourself quietly for a lot of the time, regularly, you start to understand why things are the way they are, or what happened, or why things happened the way they happened. And then that understanding, I think I talked about this earlier, that understanding brings you this sort of like consciousness expansion of, oh, right, okay, I get it now. Maybe I can rewind and go back and do this differently. I can work out where it is that I need to tweak my manifestation, my frequency, etc. Okay, I reckon that's probably it for now. I feel like the energy has sort of closed off for this reading, and that you guys have got a pretty complete message. So I'm going to end it here. Hopefully it's helpful. You enjoyed it. You got something out of it. If you did, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know. If you're not subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe, because then you'll get notifications when I put another video up. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. It's Alvi here. This is group two's reading. So I'm just going to get straight into the reading. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so your first message or the card that you chose via is solar plexus chakra. Now the solar plexus chakra is a couple of inches below your rib cage, right? And it sort of sits in the area of your stomach. So it could be, it governs like the stomach, digestion, things like that. But it also governs like your self-worth, having the guts, having courage, confidence, and things like that too. I feel like for you guys with this card coming up, it's sort of talking about, it says underneath the solar plexus, radiant illumination. I've never noticed that before. Look, there's little like a sigil or something. I don't know if you can see that. It's not on the other cards, I don't think. I'm gonna have to check that afterwards. But anyway, so you guys may be having your solar plexus chakra opening up or balancing itself. You may be in need of balancing your solar plexus chakra, or you may be just having this kind of like self-confidence, glow up type energy coming through. I'm gonna have a look in the book. As you know, I like to do this. Because it is a thing. It's a thing. No, sometimes there's messages in here that you guys need to hear as well. So let's have a look here. So you're invited to revel, not reveal, revel in the present moment and feel deeply into your senses. The sensuality of oh, pardon me. Yeah. It's I've had a really itchy nose all morning. It could be that it's like a really warm all of a sudden here, and allergies and stuff. It could also just be energy coming through. So pardon my sneezing. The sensuality of being alive, the breeze on your skin, the scent of damp earth, the feeling of fitting perfectly into the temple you call your body. This card is about diving into the depths of a moment where all your faculties are available for divine creation. Oh, I like that. That's really cool. Your entire paint kit is present as no part is left in the past or caught in the future. All right, so I'm really getting this being in the present type energy. Maybe mindfulness might be something for you guys as well. All of you who are you, hang on, this is it's a weird sentence anyway. All of you, all of who you are. Oh, all of who you are. I don't know why I'm seeing that backwards. Maybe I've suddenly developed that thing that you can't read properly. Can't think. I used to do this all the time when I was young, actually. See things around the wrong way and stuff. Oh, I nearly had that word. My guides are whispering it in my head. Oh, there's Harry. Cat's here to adjudicate the reading and laugh at me in the background, probably. All of who you are unites in a point of deep experience. This is the ecstatic moment of conception for a project or a new life. Yeah, now my face is itchy too. Must be having some kind of allergic thing. Okay, let yourself drop into the passion, intimacy, and loving connection with whatever you are birthing into the world. Oh, hang on. I'm reading the wrong one. I was like, that's not right. Why are we talking about that? I knew that was language. Oh dear. Let's try that again. The solar plexus, radiant illumination. As I was reading that, I was like, but maybe you guys are, your sacral chakra is important as well. This is why I was reading that. Everything has a reason when I do a reading. So, it could be asking you to remember your sensual self as well, with the sacral chakra. So anyway, let's go on to solar plexus, right? The three lower chakras are our energetic systems which help us balance. So if they are out of whack, then anything that's going on in the upper chakras is kind of it's going to be unbalanced or ungrounded. That's often where you get that like spiritual psychosis type thing coming through, people being crazy, thinking they're chosen ones, and claiming to be Jesus and things like that. something we really want to avoid, because spirituality isn't meant to be like that. It's meant to be grounded. It's meant to be, part of our existence, but not in a way that makes us better than anyone else or whatever. Okay, personal power, independence, self-discipline, confidence, assertiveness, decision-making, belief, intellectual abilities, and expression of will, bringing ideas into reality. Okay. The solar plexus is the radiant center of our being. It holds a vibrant spark that brings our passions to life. Enter this space to step away from playing small unworthiness. Unworthiness, the idea that you are taking up space, and insecurity-based competitiveness. That's a really interesting one, yeah. Insecurity-based competitiveness. Allow yourself to be attuned to the abundant life, force. The song I'm listening to is kind of distracting me. Oh, and my itchy eye as well. If you're wondering, it's Mexico by Incubus. And I was just sort of like shooting into that and the insecurity-based competitiveness. I don't know why that's kind of a thing, but maybe they are intertwined somehow for some of you. Allow yourself to be attuned to the abundant life force that resides within this center, and be energized, motivated, fueled with inspiration, enthused, and clear-minded, so you can bring forth more of yourself and what you wish to bring, what you wish to birth into the world. As you discover a deep, real sense of self-empowerment, you can more confidently lift others in celebration, harmonizing differences and shifting hierarchical paradigms into collective co-creation. Interesting. I like that. Yeah, so it's basically this energy, this feeling of there's no need to be competitive with people. A lot of the time, competitiveness, or it comes from a lack of self-worth, a lack of feeling like you are as good as other people. And I think this society really kind of breeds that into people, especially if you are not someone who is like academic, or, you're a bit different or something like that, particularly if you're like Gen X or I think, it's changing now as we go, as new generations come in, it's less like that. I think, I don't know. My kids are homeschooled, so I don't take part in that kind of energy as much as possible. I just find it really harsh and hideous. So anyway, yeah, that's me. If you're into it, that's fine too. We're all different, right? But what I'm picking up here is this like when you're really attuned to yourself, when you really believe in yourself, and not through any kind of function of ego, but you are centered within who you are, you don't feel like that. You don't, other people's differences or things like that, there might not be differences, there might be similarities. They don't feel like you need to compete with them. They just feel like you need to celebrate with them about what's different and what's the same and things like that. And it doesn't need to be, if it become, blah, 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 it doesn't need to feel like that. And when it doesn't feel like that, and when we're all fully like activated and understand that there's no competition in the soul world, right? I like to say this a lot. In soul, in the energy world, there's no competition. Everything's just what it is, right? When we understand that and we embody that and we know who we truly are, we don't need to do that competitive thing. And being able to not do that is how we lift everybody up. There's a song. You knew it was coming, didn't you? There is a song that embodies this really well, and I'll put it on the list. I'm not going to keep talking about it. It's one that comes up quite a lot, actually. I just think it's a really good way to sort of be in that energy. So anyway, restore. Remember that you are a powerful being who can connect with potent life force energy as and when you need it. Be aware of what fuels your fire and consider circumstances where you had your power, what? Where you had your power away. Consider circumstances where you had your power away. Imagine all the fragments of your energy that you have given away at some point, bring them all back to the center of your being. Calling all your energy back, calling all your power back. Interesting, replacing, not replacing, but refueling yourself with true self-confidence and true illumination. That's really interesting. So gold and yellow is the color, and your power is, okay, themes, your power and where you're putting your energy. All right. So this might be a thing for you guys. It might be like, where are you putting your energy? Are you putting it in a place where it's actually fueling you and helping the world awaken, or are you putting it in places where it's just not respected, or it's not, it's draining you, basically? Just a warning. I don't think that's a big message here, but it's just one of those things that needs to be said sometimes. Because we all do it. I was just thinking, it probably needs to be said to me. And it needs to be said to many people all the time. We need this reminder that we don't need to keep trying to fight for things that aren't in alignment with us. Which brings me to our next few messages from the Work Your Light Oracle deck, which I absolutely love, have had for a long time. All right, so this is a rite of passage, the initiation. You're going somewhere sacred. I feel like the sacred place that you're going is, into your solar plexus chakra, into that little sun, that radiant ball of light that lives within you. And remembering that that's who you truly are. It's not like, when you're sitting in that energy, you don't stop and think, oh, but I'm not as bright as that ball of light, because we're all bright. Yeah, get me? Yeah, so anyway, it's soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So this might be, asking for people for help, asking people. I'm kind of seeing, you know, maybe if you're having issues, like asking your soul family, have I got this right? Because sometimes, our ego, our conditioning, all sorts of things like that can make us think badly about ourselves in certain ways. And to have someone else remind us that that's not true, it's just like a bizarre belief that we picked up when we were little or something like that, can be very reaffirming. It can be very affirming, that you're maybe just listening to fear. You're listening to the damaged ego part of yourself, and we all have that, right? No one's perfect, as I keep saying. And then we have Align Your Life. It came up reversed, which is weird because these cards aren't really reversed. But and group one was a lot about aligning, right? One of the cards that came up was alignment, as you probably know if you watched the card selection. So what is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? So I feel like for you guys, this is like a release of some things and a remembrance of others, by calling back your power and working with the solar plexus chakra, and building on your self-confidence from the inner, from a place of inner belief, not outer belief, not what other people think about you. You're going to sort of initiate this new version of yourself, which is where I'm getting the initiation thing. Rite of passage, you're going somewhere sacred, and that sacred place is you. Oh, tribe. I'm gonna get some tarot, I think. I'm going to get some tarot cards on this. Let's see what group two has coming in the tarot. Let's give it a knot. Give it a blow. I'll have to blow my decks. Oh, man. Oh, no. Here comes the toilet humor. Childish humor. Oh, dear. It's lucky I amused myself, hey? All right. Let's see. What does group two have? Hey, you got to laugh, right? You can't take everything too seriously. Um, Whew, here we go. Eight of Wands in reverse. So that's interesting. Eight of Wands in reverse. This could be communication that you're waiting on. It could be like you haven't been in contact with something or someone. It's also an energy when the Eight of Wands is, upright. It talks about fast moving energy. It's fire, right? Fire and passion and all of that sort of stuff. With it coming in the reverse, though, sure what that's about. I'm going to get a few more parts because it sort of feels a bit out of context. Like alignment. Okay. Okay. They're drawing me to the align your life, what's no longer in alignment with who you are. And the Eight of Wands is sort of like things, I don't know. It's sort of not just, it's just not coming through for me the way I need it to. So I can't translate it just yet. Okay, so it's sort of part of it might be that there's a maybe that you have withdrawn from communicating with a certain group of people or a certain person or something like that, and realized in the space that that's given you that that maybe not in alignment with you anymore, so you're letting it go. That's just for some of you, though. I don't think it's for all of you. All roads lead to one or one. No, I don't know. I'm kind of looking at this and I'm getting this message about like they're all going to the same place. They're all sort of like all of those wands are all heading to the same place. Doesn't matter whether it's that way or that way. Um, there's a lot of wands. Um, the silly person in me wants to say something extremely rude, but I will refrain because then it will. I'll just laugh for 20 minutes and like I said, it could be not communicating or like stepping back from a situation where there's a lot of like um I just have to say it. There's like a lot of dicks, basically. There's a lot of dicks. When I see ones are often a sort of like, it's a lot of passion, hot energy, what's the word I'm looking for? Chemistry, something like that. It might be like you decided not to go on a dating site anymore or something like that. Or there's a certain place you don't want to go to because you feel like it's just like a sausage party or something like that. And see, having that space from that situation, I don't mean it doesn't have to be that, but that's just something that's coming through for me, whether it's just my twisted sense of humor or my guides playing twisted sense of humor with me, or not. It's sort of like the message is there, so I have to say it. And it's given you space, right, to realize that that isn't really in alignment with you. Maybe it was something that kind of felt good, but um at the same time there was something not quite right there. Uh could also be, as I said, a lot of like thinking I'm just seeing like a lot of messages or something like that. Like, how we have that sort of bombardment that goes on, you can't, people messaging you day and night. It could be a work situation as well that you need to take some space from because the people that you were working with or for didn't respect the fact that once you weren't there anymore, you didn't need to have messages and that you could get back to them later on. Like you're constantly hearing about it. It could be something like, perhaps you work in a medical field where it's important to be kept in touch with, or some other kind of job where they're still not respecting your personal space in some way by sending you a lot of messages. So you're stepping back from that, or stepping back from, like constantly tapping into the energy collectively or someone's energy to try and get messages. That could be something as well too for you guys, like by stepping back you've realized that that isn't really in alignment, or something like that. So it's sort of like you've had the space to understand what it is you do want. It's sort of brought you back to yourself in a way, I guess. And this is now bringing you to this place. Oh, whoa, a lot. She came out in the last one too. I don't want to fall off its chair. It would be painful. Okay, some of those cards that have flipped up came out in the last reading, and I just want to make sure that they are right message. It's not just that I'm bad at shuffling. Um, so what does group two need to know? Group two need to know. Give me the message for group two for the next 7 to 10 days, please. Okay, they're saying taking a break. So whatever situation this might be, it's like you've taken a break from it, or you need to take a break from it. It might be to be able to focus in on the solar plexus chakra stuff that you might be having coming up right now, whether it's illumination or realizing that you're out of balance, or that this is a certain situation that's like this, where there's a lot of energy, or there's a lot of communication, a lot of messages, or a lot of dicks. It's paramount for you to step back and bring yourself back to you, to remember that whatever this is, it's sort of like it's maybe thrown you off balance, or maybe you just need to take a break from it for a while because you're going through this rite of passage, this initiation type energy here, where you're becoming someone different, and therefore things aren't going to be the same. You know, certain things are going to stop being aligned with you when you upgrade, right? Come on, guys. All right, what have we got? All right, so yeah, we've got more wands, and we have the Five of Wands in reverse. The Five of Wands in the upright position talks about competition. It talks about, you know, feeling that you've got to strive, and this is the shadow side of the solar plexus chakra, where the chakra is out of balance, where we're not living through that illuminated being that we truly are. This is what we feel a lot of the time, you know, because we think we're in competition with people. We have to strive to get there. And this might be a situation, like I said a couple of times, I keep getting drawn back to the work situation. Coming back to the work situation, my mind just went completely blank there. No, it's like, you know, it might be it could be school, it could be work, it could be some kind of situation like that where it's very competitive, or you feel like, you know, there's a person in charge that maybe is making you feel like you're not as good as that person. In a way, you know, it's sort of like a manipulation to get people to do the best that they can, or to do more, to show that they can do more. People do that, you know, especially bosses, right? If they know that you're capable of more and they're manipulative fucks, then they'll do that. And it's not just bosses, right? It could be anyone. It could be anyone, being family. But I feel like with it in reverse, it's sort of like you're taking a step back from that. Like I said, this is a, I'm just going to change the music because it's not giving me the vibe. So yeah, this is like you taking a step back from a situation that's put you in a place where you may be out of balance in the solar plexus chakra, or it's a request, you know, for you to take a step back so that you can get in balance. This initiation that I keep going back to over and over again. I'm going to read the book about it in a minute, but I feel like it is very important that you come back into this, you know, into yourself, and block off unnecessary distractions from the outside, including things like feeling competitive or feeling like you're being constantly hounded, in whatever way that is. Let's get the book. Where is the book? Yes. For the initiation. Let's read the initiation. That's what they just told me to do. They didn't say explain it like that. I mean, pronounce it like that though. They did not tell me to say initiation. Really hard to say when I don't say it, when I was trying to do it on purpose. Okay, the rite of passage. You're going somewhere sacred. There is a temple in India that looks terrifying from the outside, but inside it is filled with jewels, and is one of the most loving places imaginable. This is why they got me to read this. I could already feel it coming now, this message. This represents the journey that the soul pilgrim is required to take to reach somewhere sacred, but only the initiated can enter. Perhaps that's where you're at right now. You are being tested, initiated, because you are headed somewhere sacred. Okay. So maybe you're finding that you're being tested, and I hate that analogy, but that's what they're saying in the book. Maybe you feel, you know, that you are being put in positions where you are feeling these types of things going on. And it's sort of almost like life is trying to get you to remember not to get caught up in that. It's like showing you a different way. Initiations require that we cross the threshold from one world or state of being to the next. So this is definitely like an activation for a lot of you of that solar plexus chakra, or a reactivation. We go deeper and deeper, more petals, right? So petals, that was. It might sound really weird in my accent to Americans or to people from overseas, perhaps. Like what I say, deck. Initiations, like rites of passage, mark the shift from one age to the next and can take place because of emotional turmoil, great loss, grief, or devastation. But it is through the seeming hardship that our heart cracks open and our spirit is invested to step forward. We take, bizarrely, like I'm getting this message now for the song that's playing is Three Libras, which is Perfect Circle, and one of the lyrics is like, you don't see me at all. And that's kind of the message that, I got a shiver then. That's kind of the message that I'm getting, right? It's like they want you to take a step back. This is maybe what's brought you to this place, to this like opening up of the solar plexus chakra, this remembering that you're worthy just because you're here, that kind of energy, because you've been around people or a situation that don't see you. They don't see you, and it's made you doubt yourself, or you feel unseen. You feel like, that I think it said in that book something about playing small. That's feeling unseen, like being scared to be seen because of something, or something along those lines anyway. All right. Give me 1 second. I need to write that song down. I've got a little list of songs. There it is. Why does this happen to me? There we go. All right. I want to write Three Libras, right? If I could spell it right, be good. Yeah, okay. So this might be for some of you a situation where you just felt unseen. Maybe it was by a specific person. Maybe it was like they, you know, a situation, as I've said before, work or family or something like that, where you've had your self-confidence and your self-belief and your worthiness like in question. You've become aware that other people aren't seeing you, or you don't want to be seen because you feel like um you're not worthy of that, or something along those lines. The truth is that you are, though. And this solar plexus illumination that's going to happen for you, that's coming through, is you taking a step into yourself more deeply and going into that new it's like a new level for you. A new Hang on, I'm trying to think of the right way to put it. It's like everything will change for you when you have gone through this activation. So blah 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 blah. Let's go back into the book. Initiations like rites of passage. Yeah, okay, we read that bit. So it can be painful and scary, but once we begin the journey, we can be more ourselves than ever before. So you're coming back into yourself, but in a different way. Perhaps something in some specific situation, or maybe it's just time. on your soul path, on your soul timing, to have this activated and recognize yourself for who you truly are. And that is a worthy being, being that's worthy, and all of those things. And, have confidence in that. If you're in the middle of an initiation right now, you'll get through it. And one day soon, you'll bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. So maybe there's a situation where you've just been kind of closing off, and they needed to get through to you somehow. You are going somewhere sacred, and it will be worth it. And you're closer than you think. Yeah, all right. That was a pretty intense kind of channeled message there, and it was, as usual, perfect song for the message to come through. So yeah, so you are going to sacred, and once you get there, you've got to find much more stability. We have wands, wands, wands. So this is about creativity, passion, fire, romance, even, that's what fire is, right? It's all of those things. That's what the element of fire embodies. But I see you kind of like just leaving behind this competition and a whole pile of like unnecessary, whether they're energy messages or whether they're texts or whether you're just getting shit tons of emails or something like that, that it's just too much for you. Or it's part of, I don't know, feeling validated or something along those lines. You're leaving that now because it's no longer aligned with you, or it won't be once you've fully um completed this activation of the solar plexus chakra. Oof, come on. Well, messages for two, please. That's like half the deck. We won't do that. Two, someone. Where's the messages? All right, what have we got here? Okay. The moon in reverse. So I feel like, yeah, there's going to be some sort of, like, the moon talks about things that are hidden, things that you can't see. Maybe they're secrets that somebody was keeping from you, or you were keeping from yourself. Um, or, things in the subconscious as well. You might be discovering these secrets that are in your subconscious that are creating these ideas of unworthiness or lack of confidence, or things along those lines that have kept you in this holding pattern, um, or that you are now sort of having come up to consciousness for resolution and healing and all of those things as your solar plexus chakra comes online, or comes online even more deeply than it was before. For me, the moon also can mean like a deep longing. I don't know if other people feel this way, but I feel like the moon, it's kind of, it brings out these feelings that we have that, maybe we're longing for something, we might keep them hidden, but once the moon is sort of like full, there's a lot of shit goes on that, you don't really want to admit to, or something like that. That's kind of what I'm getting here in this stable, more stable kind of energy that's coming in with the Four of Wands, which is like a celebration as well. It's like these things are coming to light. They'll come to light, and it might be kind of a bit shocking for you at first, but I feel like you are going to be able to kind of manage it and resolve it, and work on it in a way that's going to help you and support you. I have the King of Pentacles here as well, and he's in reverse, which is odd. Uh, which is odd. I don't know quite what this is all about. I feel like, yeah, maybe this is about a King of Pentacles type energy. Maybe this is like the reason that this has started. Someone who's got it all together, or someone who pretended to have it all together. And maybe this is you pretending it to have it, or not even pretending, but you only know what you know until you know something different, right? So as you come through this activation, what I feel like is going to happen is like you're going to see like while you may have had certain things all together in the third dimensional world, there was things that were going on that were kind of clues for you that this actually wasn't really working for you. And now you're going to kind of change tack, I think, and go to a different kind of go on a different kind of ride where there's things that, you know, the pentacles, so it kind of gives me, sometimes it's a bit more materialistic, especially, you know, the King of Wands, particularly, like it can be a very good card for someone who's got it all together in the third dimensional world, but it can also sort of mean, like, you know, especially um if it's reversed, sorry, itchy, if it's reversed energy here like it is now, it's sort of like the focus was on the wrong thing. So it was about, you know, maybe materialism, maybe what other people thought or what was going on around you. And you didn't realize that that's where you were basing your worth. Like you were basing your worth on other people's opinions or other people's stuff, right? And that's not really where it should come from. It should come from within. And I feel like this is going to come up for you, or this is what you're healing. This is what you're kind of, you know, stepping away from as this portal comes in. And this is maybe why we have the soul family calling your soul tribe. You may need help, you know, maybe that's what they're talking about. It's like to have people around you who understand and have been through this and understand, you know, what it's like and can support you on your journey. Okay. And we have the Six of Cups. Um, Interesting. So Six of Cups, the Queen of Wands, Two of Cups in reverse, and Strength in reverse. This could definitely be about a broken relationship with these cards coming up. I'm not going to put them all down, but just it's interesting, like when I get a whole pile that come up, to see that this might be the underlying energy. So kind of acting like you didn't really care about this, or something along those lines, and maybe the universe, or, you know, yeah, I prefer to say it's like your soul, it's your higher self trying to get your attention about it. This is reminiscing the Six of Cups. It can mean a soulmate, it can mean someone from a past life coming back around. This could be like what's thrown you. This could be your wish that you wish that this person would come back around. But I feel like with the solar plexus chakra thing coming in, this could be someone different, someone new coming in who is from, you know, a parallel universe or a past life, or it's going to feel like that. It could also just be, you know, memories, reminiscing about, you know, old times, things that made you feel good in the past, or something like that. And I feel like you're kind of switching from this sort of underlying subconscious, oh, I'm not good enough, to remembering things that made you feel good, that made you feel good enough, or remembering yourself even, you know. That's the energy that's coming through anyway with this whole reading. It's like remembering yourself, remembering yourself, remembering yourself. Okay, we're gonna get one more tarot card and then I'm gonna end the reading because I feel like the energy has kind of, you know, dropped out and the biggest messages have already come through. So it could be about getting a dog. Who knows? It's a dog over here. You know, someone, a companion is what I'm getting here. Someone who's a companion. This could be the soul family as well, you know, reminding you that you are all of those cups. You always were. And things. And things. My very technical terms that I like to use. And things and stuff. Have we got any more messages for group two? Ooh, I'm gonna have to get off this chair and stretch, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. There's a few cards that just threw themselves up, but I feel a bit like it's not quite where we're going. I think that's just my clumsy shuffling. Any other messages for group 2 to finish the reading? That one's not the one. Then we have the Star in reverse. This is sort of like, I feel like you may have lost hope, or you may be feeling like your wishes just don't come true or something like that. But this is actually, I feel like it's one of those things where, you might be going through a transformation and an activation and things all coming up at once for you. And you're kind of like, oh God, nothing ever works for me. But it's actually not true. It's just like they're showing you how you've been not been in alignment with your soul path by, maybe focusing on the wrong things, or not the wrong things, but focusing on the things that you thought were going to bring you fulfillment, or, make you something, get you something that you wanted emotionally, whereas now you're going to be shown that it actually all comes from within, and your whole perspective will change. And then you got the Chariot, so that's like very fast moving energy going on there, that's charging forward, in balance as well with the Chariot, because we have the black and white horse. It means that is meant to symbolize like the balance between dark and light. So, being in the middle of that Chariot, being in the middle of those horses, the gray area, I don't know. No, but like that's the symbolism of the Chariot, is the horses racing forwards. It's like for forward movement, but there's balance. That horses are both going in the same direction, perhaps. I don't know. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like this is where you'll eventually end up. We had the King of Pentacles in reverse, which is weird, but the Queen of Pentacles kind of gives me more of a more, like, the King of Pentacles, obviously, if it was upright, would be different. But the Queen of Pentacles, she's sort of like more earthy. Like, you have a look at the picture on here, right? A more feminine energy, perhaps. That doesn't mean you have to be female. It just means, the feminine energy, the receptivity, the fertility, abundance, and all of those types of things that she is using from her inner. She's getting like from her inner well, um, from her inner resources, rather than, like looking outwards. I'm going to end the reading here, because as I said, I feel like this is the full message for you guys. Hopefully you got something out of that. If you did, or you've got anything you'd like to add or comment, use the comments, comment below. Also, you can, subscribe if you'd like to subscribe as well, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching this thing now. Okay, I think we were recording because I've got my headphones on. I can't hear on the computer, so we're recording now. Okay, this is Alvi, obviously, that's me, with group 3's reading for this week. So this is the next day after I recorded group 1 and 2. Yeah, I don't know why I said that. Yeah, so anyway, let's get straight into your messages. We have for you, these are the cards you chose by. I'm noticing, I didn't notice on these cards before, there's little sigils or symbols next to some of the cards, but not all of them. So the first message we have for you is awakened awareness. I like that, awakened awareness. And then we have the next message, which is life force energy. So these two things really, they go hand in hand as far as I'm concerned. When you have awakened awareness, you have so much more awareness of the life force energy and how to use it. You start to learn how to use it as well. Oh, damn, I've left my glasses somewhere. I'm going to pull some of these Work Your Light oracles as well to get a message, a more complete message for you. And then we'll get some tarot after that. So I'll just pull these cards out now, and then I'll pause it for a sec, go find where I left my glasses last, probably where I was stringing up crystal. You can see them behind me. They're sun catchers that I'm making. And if you're interested in buying one of those, they are intention items. So I make them with intentions. I use crystals, specific crystals. You can get them bespoke made as well, but I will leave a link for my Etsy shop where I have those listed if you're interested. Um, Probably better jar. I wouldn't say no to anyone from overseas, but sometimes the postage for overseas can be quite pricey. So I'd just check into that first before you order one. Yeah, especially in the US. I don't know why, but sometimes, it's just the postage prices are insane from the US to Australia for some reason. But yeah, if you are interested anyway, have a look. I won't have a lot there yet because I've just sort of, I don't know, sometimes things just come to mind and you're like, oh yeah, I really should make some of those. So there I am making them. But I will be adding more and more as we go along, different designs, different, options as well that you can have. So it doesn't have to be star shaped. There's a moon, you can probably see a moon, you can have circles, there's all sorts of different things that I'll be adding into that shop. And if you order them within the next, 3 or 4 weeks, you'll probably get them in time for Christmas, or you definitely will because it's only October. Uh, and then, if you wanted to get Christmas ones or Christmas presents, be a good thing too. So let's just now that I've done my little advert for my other stuff that I like to do, um, I will. Oh, we've got two cards here. I might just give these a little knot. What messages do you want group 3 to know about? Okay, we had that for group 2, I think. I might just leave that aside and see if they've got anything else. I'm not sure about it when it comes. Sometimes when the cards kind of fly out of the deck, I get a feeling like maybe this isn't for this one, but maybe it is. Who knows? Which is often why you'll see me doing things that other tarot readers won't do, which is like, putting cards back in the deck. Which is, in traditional tarot, that's a very no, you don't do that. But for me, it's like if I feel like it doesn't, if the energy of the card when it comes out of the deck doesn't go along with the reading, sometimes it's just because I'm a shit shuffler, right? I'm bad at shuffling. So I have to take that into account. And also, if you get something that's like really negative with like massively everything else is positive, it's sort of like, what's going on there? So, we got boundaries here for you guys. With boundaries, the card that flipped out before was Inner Temple. So you can see that one. Inner Temple, which is devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. I actually love this card so much. We will leave it out. We have boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Now, I was just talking to myself about this. As I talk to myself all the time. Because, we all have different aspects, I guess, of ourselves. So sometimes you have to remind your inner child or the part of you that's like wounded or whatever of things like we need to have better boundaries about certain things because otherwise the life force energy kind of gets, I would say, like you could get energy blockages or you could close down certain, chakras and things like that because it's scary or, you are putting yourself in a place where you might be getting, touching on wounding that you don't need to have or something like that as well. So yeah, let's get one more of these. Then I shall. Ooh, we have we have 5 cards here. See, that's what I mean. I put them all back because I don't know which one it was meant to be, or if it was just because I'm clumsy. I do have carpal tunnel, so that probably doesn't help either. But here we go. Oh, let's have a look. We have birthing a new age. The first one that popped up in that half a deck there was awakening. So it's sort of a similar thing, birthing a new age. Wow, this card just gave me shivers. It reminds me of something my friend Tabby told me about that she had visions of this. We were we were building like a healing circle and some dimension or the astral, and that kind of just gave me the feels of that feeling of that time when we were doing that. Yeah, I do work in the astral, right? Everybody does. I think that a lot of people just aren't kind of aware of what they do, or they don't have the time to sit around thinking about it, or to become aware of it, or maybe don't want to be aware of it, perhaps. But Yeah, that's interesting. So let's have a look at this. Awakened awareness and life force energy. I feel like you're going to be going through an awakening. I actually feel like every single one of the readings that I've done have had an aspect of like having an awakening, whether it be, the first time that you have a massive awakening or just another awakening on your ascension path. Yeah, you might want to check out the other readings because they all sort of seem to be having similar themes about awakening. I think group two was solar plexus chakra, the awakening of the solar plexus chakra, which is quite an interesting one, an interesting energy to work through. And I'm trying to think group one. What was that about? I can't remember, but I know they all had sort of like, oh, hang on, I'll be able to find out in a sec. We had alignment, healing and alignment, which is also, it's a part of the healing and ascension path. That's part of what we do on that path is we heal to align ourselves with, our true path instead of where we might have been heading or um where we thought we should be going according to our conditioning. I don't know why that just jumped like that. That was freaky. Yeah, so yeah, interesting awakening times. I mean, we know this that there's like times of we're in times where the earth is awakening, where the consciousness of the people and animals and the planet are actually changing. So, of course, we're going to have that come through in our personal lives as well, especially if we're here to be part of that change. And if you're on this channel watching me, you probably are, or you may have inklings that you are if you're not aware already. So I'm just going to pause this, go get my glasses, because I've got a feeling they're going to ask me to read some of the messages from the books, as they usually do. Um, and sometimes I feel like they give messages that I might not be able to translate energetically as succinctly as they come through from the books. So just bear with me and I will be back in a second with my glasses. I should have checked, but I didn't. Well, they're my least favorite glasses, but they do the job. So they're not the ones I like the best. The ones that my oldest says. I don't know why he says, but when I wear them, he says I look like my name should be Patricia, so we call them the Patricia glasses. But I perhaps, yeah. Anyway, never mind. Never mind. Enough from me about Patricia and the glasses. I like to bring, if you read my little description on my channel, I talk about keeping it real because I think that that's really what spirituality is about. It's like, we don't have to be Gandhi or Buddha or whatever. That's not the point of this ride, right? That's not the point of why we're here. We're here to have a human experience as a spiritual being. So we're already spiritual. We don't need to be all purification and all of that stuff. I mean, like there's certain times, as you know, probably, like the healing journey and things like that, certain things that make it better for you, but I'm just saying like there's nothing wrong with having a laugh about things and not taking things too seriously. That is part of the spiritual journey. If you can't laugh at yourself, well, it's not as much fun, is it? I don't know why I keep getting drawn to my phone really badly, and I'm not sure if there's something on there I should be looking at. Nope. Okay. There's that song I keep thinking about though, Remedy, um, by Pucifer. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know if that's actually a message or something. I feel like it's the boundaries thing coming up. It's sort of our home, our rules, respect them, or bitches receive stitches and trolls receive 86s. Stick around if you're housebroken. Can't hold your shit or your tongue, you've got to go. Um, should you choose to react like an imbecile, you in turn will be treated so. So yeah, it's sort of, I don't really know. I feel like this might be a place where you're finding yourself. If you're finding yourself feeling like that, then it's definitely like a boundary breach or a lack of boundaries that are I don't want to say proper boundaries because the boundary is a boundary, right? But sometimes our boundaries are misaligned with what is actually, what it is that we actually need in our lives and what we want to keep out. So that could be a sign for you guys about the better boundaries thing. Funny, just, as I always like to say, these songs don't come up and I don't notice them for no reason. Everything that happens in a reading happens for a reason. So, yeah, interesting. So boundaries, guys, because when we are, um, I'm trying to sort of come up with this. It's not that I don't know what I'm trying to say, it's just that it's not coming out properly. And as my guides reminded me the other day, my voice is an activator, so I'm trying to work on actually having the right words that activate you, that give you that woof kind of feeling, that give you the life force energy coming through, remind you of the truth of your being. I really love this picture. I'm just really tripping over this picture right now. There's like all crystals and rainbow colors and dolphins, and this looks like my kind of heaven. So if you know me personally, you know how much I really dislike the beige Scandi movement. It's sort of like so utilitarian and there's no character in it, you know what I mean? So I love things that are like bright rainbow shiny colors because it's sort of rebellious against the Kmart look, if you know what I mean. So yeah, let's look at this life force energy. That's what's really drawing me in here. I'm gonna get the book out and just have a little read, see what they have to say in there. I feel the energy. Um, 34, you know. Isolators, no one misses these. Okay, energy, mana. Aina? I've never heard that one before. The rainbow spectrum. I love the rainbow spectrum, as you probably know. If you're anywhere around on my social media, there's always rainbows. Because I feel like that represents unity consciousness. And it really does. Is we are when we're fully activated, we are like a rainbow bridge between heaven and earth. So um that's always my favorite thing. So let's see, life force energy. What do they have to say about this? Bringing earth into balance, cell rejuvenation, love of the land, conscious consumption, being vibrantly alive and thriving nature. Um, what happens when we seek to maximize the life force energy in everything we do? Towards the completion of this Oracle deck, I was called to visit Hawaii. I heard it is known to be the last remaining part of the lost continent of Lemuria. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I went with, although it kind of does make sense, and my heart just did this big opening thing when I read that. So that's always a good sign that it's true. I went with an open mind and was silly blown away by the incredible life force energy radiated there. I'm an avid traveler and seeker of high vibrational places. This isn't me, by the way. This is the woman who wrote the book and painted the pictures for the cards. So um, I've never, but I had never experienced such potency of the magic, the main inspiration of my art. In every cell of every bright green leaf, I could sense the songs of Lemuria in this pristine place. Um, there's a whole thing here about that experience, but I think you get the feeling, like the energy that's sort of coming through me right now should be hopefully reaching you. There's an energetic download with that um about how vibrant things are when they're filled with life force and when they're properly aligned and connected to the places and things that they should be connected to that are feeding them rather than draining them. It's a little bit like a message that I'm getting right now, having said that, and just like the download coming through is a lot to do with, like, how when a plant doesn't grow, we move the plant, we change the environment of the plant. This could be a message for you. You could be in an environment that isn't supporting you being full of life force energy. It could be something that's internal, it could be something that's external. I'm also feeling like maybe you guys have going to be called to go to a very high vibrational place on the earth. So, you know, travel or visiting places even near you, or going to somewhere that you know is like a sacred site, Machu Picchu or the pyramids, or Hawaii or something like that too. That's a really interesting message coming through with that. So let's see what else she's got to say here. Oh wow. Just as I was mentioning the bridging the heaven, the gateway, you know, the rainbow bridge, I just looked down and I saw this: by aligning our choices with higher frequency. Oh, hang on, sorry. I realized maximizing one's life force energy was the gateway to bridging heaven and earth. So there you go. I don't know why I had to say that, but I did. By aligning our choices with this higher frequency, we will naturally create more opportunities to ground. This is somehow forgotten light. When we know the joy of this life force within and around us and are vibrantly alive, we can't help but inspire others to choose the same. So this is sort of about, you know, you exuding that activated energy that you have, right? We all have the capacity to connect in with this. Perhaps this is a calling you back to focusing on that so that you can awaken your awareness as well. I'm gonna have a little peek into what they say about the awakened awareness. But I do have my own, you know, obviously, because I've got opinions about everything. I do have my own sort of message about that too, but we'll have a look and see what this says here. It says this is, we're still talking about life force energy, by the way. Oh, yeah, go the hiccups. Here it comes. It is time for celebration, revel in the bliss of being alive. This is an incredibly healing card packed with a luminous life force energy for optimal health and healing. It reminds you to seek joy and upliftment in everything you do as much as is possible. Consider the foods you eat, the environments you spend your time in, the people in your life, and even the things you wear. Increase your awareness of their journey and how they came to be in your world and their energetic resonance. Are they alive and vibrant? You may also be inspired to work with healing energy, such as Reiki or other energy healing modalities, just because everybody thinks that Reiki is the only one when it's not. I basically kind of made up my own modality. And I think other people have done that too, obviously, but I just call it divine love healing. It's just healing from the heart center. You can't kind of bottle it, and you can't kind of, I don't know, it's very intuitive. So it's hard to teach. But, you know, Reiki is not the only thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. In fact, there's a lot of people, not a lot of people, but there is a belief that traditional Reiki will keep you stuck in the matrix because it connects you to certain things that are part of that, rather than taking you to this more expanded awareness and beyond the 3D matrix that we all live in, but we're all trying to escape, or not escape, but, you know, a lot of us are aware that this is a projection or a hologram or all of those things, you know, that whole theory there, right? It's just a dimension, and we can remove ourselves from that dimension when we expand our life force energy and our awareness. But beware that some Reiki, not all Reiki, some Reiki is good. You just have to be careful about it, because some of it will kind of lock you in place. I have written stuff about this before on my Facebook page. It was a long time ago, but for some reason that's just popped back in to me right now, to mention that. And I don't have all the details coming up in my in my memory bank just at this point. But yeah, if you're drawn to energy healing, perhaps explore other options, not just Reiki. So you are encouraged to joyously make your life a piece of Eden. As a result, you will shine with vitality. That's amazing. I really think that's cool. I feel like that's sort of like this message here. Really, the biggest message that's coming through from this is like about being consciously aware, right? Consciously aware of what you are doing with your energy and with the things around you and how they make you feel. Because if you know, you know, right? But how you feel has a lot to do with the vibration that you give out into the world, like your frequency. We all have a core vibrational frequency, which is different. That's the perfect thing. But our on a daily basis, we have different moods and things like that, and those things can affect what's going on around you as well. So this is why, people do smudging or house cleansing in other ways as well. So this might be something too that just came into my mind. Like my guides they show me pictures and things like that sometimes, and it's all like, yeah, perhaps doing some like smudging, some cleaning, some getting in between, behind, like, and underneath things that you don't normally move, sending light there with your mind as well. Just clearing the energy, clearing your energy, clearing the energy of the things that you have around your house, maybe getting rid of things that don't make you feel good or that have some kind of bizarre energy to them, or bad memories and things like that might also be something that you can do to help sort of like raise your vibration. That thing I hate talking about because I still think that it's not quite right. But anyway, that's the best way that we can put it sometimes, is to raise the vibration, raise the frequency, clear the frequency. And as I'm saying that, I'm seeing this like big clear crystal. It's like it's a huge thing, right? And it's all like shiny, hard to explain, like pastel rainbow shiny clear thing. And that's kind of, I feel like that's the energy that they're asking you to embody by doing these things, like, focusing on bringing conscious awareness to all of the things that you do. The cleaning is really odd too, because I'm usually a bit of a chaos witch. I don't like, I don't really care if my house is messy. I'm busy doing things. I've got creative things to do, right? Last few days I've just been like on this mad cleaning thing. Not that it actually looks like it, but that's the perils of having kids and cats and balloons full of confetti that get popped in the middle of the night. But yeah, I've just been feeling like I want to clean everything out. I want to clear everything out. I've been doing where I put like shields up around my walls, and then fill the room with violet flame, and then fill the room with source energy and pop a shield on top, things like that. So, we can all do things like that with our intention. We don't have to use sage or incense or anything like that. You can use essential oils. You can put salt on your floors, all those kinds of things. I feel like this is sort of like, oh yeah, when that's that energy that's coming through, I feel like it's really important to clear your environment. This is what I'm getting. Like there's something going on within the environment that we need cleaned and cleared. There might be something specific in your house that's creating this. Maybe it's sort of like, the only way I can explain it is like, when there's negative energy and when it's being fed by other negative energy, say like you're anxious or something, it's sort of like, this is going to be really weird, but it's like Velcro. You know how like you have Velcro on a bag, or we used to have it on our shoes, and you get that like fluff that gets stuck on there, and you're like, where the fuck did this come from? There's just fluff stuck. It always sticks to the Velcro. That's what this feels like. That's what this is. This like, you may have like an area or an object or something like that in your house that is acting like cosmic Velcro, right? So it's picking up all of the negative energy, it's picking up all of the like maybe even from the collective, because we've just had over the last 2 days a couple more solar flares, so that can like just push up the amount of sludge. That's what I call it, energetic sludge that's around anyway. But if you've got people who are in your house maybe having mental health problems, or you have anxiety, anything like that, this kind of, I feel like I'm seeing it just being drawn to that. And what they want you to do is to work out what that is, to you feel it out and then clear it so that it's got that energy of that beautiful white crystal, not white, clear crystal with the rainbow pastel things that I was just talking about before. Okay. Something weird and specific. There goes my clairvoyance popping in today. Been really working on clearing out my third eye because it's been a bit blocked and weird lately. So yeah, it's interesting how that come up. An awakened awareness. I see this as being the pineal gland. it looks very much like sort of that pine coney look and the eye opening, the third eye opening. What was I just saying? That's so weird. That's where clairvoyance comes from, by the way, if you didn't know. Clairvoyance comes from, well, clairvoyance and the third eye are related. So if you see things, if you visualize things, if your dreams are very vivid, it means that your third eye is opening. I'm going to have a look at what they say in the book about awakened awareness as well. Woo, I've got a real big good energy thing coming through here right now, which I like. I'm looking for the awakened awareness. Let me just check what page that would be on. Awakened awareness. 51. Okay. See if she's got any messages for you here. Give us life. Okay. So physical reality is the tip of the iceberg, the tapestry we see at the surface level. It's just a fraction of what's going on beyond. Yeah, it really is. I feel like you guys are going to be going into this, or it might be that you kind of have been there before, but you maybe have had things going on that kind of shut you off from remembering that, as I was saying, through the life force awareness messages, that this is not the full reality, right? What we experience here and what we do here and all of that sort of stuff is just, as I say, the tip of the iceberg, like there's so much more to our existence than just our human existence. And when you can sort of like connect with that and maybe embody that, things open up for you that you just wouldn't even believe. And it's just like, it's not so much like things open up for you in a third dimensional way, like the doors open, you get money, blah, 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 blah. It's more like you just become so much more aware of everything that's going on around you that it makes it sort of easier to navigate through life sometimes, because you can kind of, I don't know, it's hard to explain. If you've been there, and if you haven't been there, perhaps you're on your way there right now. And it's an amazing kind of experience to remember that you are a soul and you're so much bigger than the human experience that you're having right now. Random song again. This is Mastodon, I think. The what I'm picking out is like the lyric, I wonder who I am. Where is it? I wonder who I am. Reflections offer nothing. I wonder where I stand. I'm afraid of myself. So this might be sort of like the feeling that you're getting right now. It's sort of like maybe you're soul searching. Maybe you're in that space where you're like kind of between where you were before and the next timeline, or the next highest version of you, the next awakening, the next expansion of yourself into something more. That's kind of what I'm getting here. That will be on the song list. I've said it in the other readings. I will be making like a playlist if anyone's interested in listening to the songs that come up. Sometimes it's just for the lyrics. Like, I know that not everybody's into the same sort of music as I am, and I'm totally cool with that. But I feel like if you read the lyrics, sometimes it actually brings something home. It can open something up for you that you didn't know was there before. So especially if you're particularly clairvoyant, not clairvoyant, so audiently activated like I am. Okay, so divinatory meaning for awakened awareness. This is a card. This card is a reminder to wake up. There are many levels and stages of awakening. There is no on or off switch. Keep learning and putting yourself into situations where you can grow. I don't actually feel like this is something that you will need to do. That part of just reading that meaning, it sort of doesn't sit with the energy that's coming through with this reading. So, I mean, for some of you, that might be the case. This is a collective reading, and some people do need that push to go out into, you know, different situations to be able to expand. Other times it's sort of like more psychonaut type thing where you're inner exploring. So you might need to meditate or come back into yourself a little more. I actually just feel like by focusing on bringing more life force energy into your life, and you know, as I was saying, the clearing, the house clearing and all that sort of stuff, it's going to kind of clear the way for your awakened awareness. I feel like a lot of you have it already. You've been there, you've done this kind of expansion. This might be, you know, another expansion into it again, because sometimes once you get used to the frequency, it seems normal and you're like, well, what the fuck is wrong? Why don't I feel like I used to feel? That's what I'm feeling here, is like it's going to be more of a spontaneous thing, but it's going to be a conscious thing as well, because you're consciously going to be doing things like clearing your house or clearing your energy or focusing on that. I'm also getting, like, for some of you guys, and I think this is a message probably for me too, like being conscious of what you're putting in your body and how you're doing things, you know, like are you doing the things that are going to make your body and your energy just glow, or are you doing things that are and this is my hand up, sitting in the corner drinking coffee for 5 hours before you get up and do anything because you're procrastinating, or you know, something like that, you know, having a junk food binge or whatever, and that's fine sometimes. But I feel like with this coming through in the reading, it's sort of like a reminder to you that, you know, to be able to feel really expanded, and to be able to feel into the next level or the next expansion for yourself and walk into that, walk into that and maybe like decalcify your pineal gland or clear your third eye. There are certain things that you might need to be doing, like focusing on what's, you know, what's going into your body, whether it be clear or clean water that's not from a tap, or I know most people don't drink tap water, but some still do. Having a, you know, having a filter jug that actually gets the fluoride and the crap out of your water, or you know, eating organic vegetables, going raw vegan for a while. I wouldn't recommend it forever, but it is a good cleansing thing, or doing a juice cleanse or something like that as well. Maybe there's something within your energy system that could benefit from that. But other than that, there's also the, you know, the energy clearing portion of this too. Um, and I feel like by doing that, it's going to open up more for you. You're going to become more expanded awareness or awakened awareness. Mm, Okay, what else does it say? Let's have a look. Sometimes we do go back. Okay, so here, this really caught me. Sometimes we do go back to sleep, so stay aligned with your inner guidance and find ways to remember to wake up. Do what you love to keep your vibe high. This is not about instant pleasure, but the joy that is substantial and sustainable. Eat healthily, keep your body active. I didn't even look at that before. I was just channeling that stuff about, you know, changing your diet or being conscious about what you're doing. Um, and have life goals, but with enough space to hear the answer to your prayers. When our energy system becomes blocked or needs a cleanse, we can become drowsy to our vital nature. Am I reading the right one? Kind of seems like it's the same. Oh no, it is the right one. It sort of seems like that these messages should be coming from the life force energy, but perhaps I was just tapping into the messages that were going to come through with this one as well, without actually knowing that that's what I was doing, which is interesting when that happens. Um, when our energy systems become blocked or need a cleanse, we can become drowsy to our vital nature. Energy clearing can help you recenter. Shadow work may also be needed. So you may need to do some emotional processing, some heart breathing, all of those kinds of things to clear away what the word detritus just came into my mind. But what I'm feeling is like there is some stuff, right? You might have stuff coming up, whatever that stuff might be, that needs to be you know, it wants to be looked at, it wants to be acknowledged, and it wants to be felt and then released and resolved. Shadow work may also be needed if certain things are running your mind in a disempowering or distorting way. Find your unique way to connect to the divine inside you, not as an external seeking, but as a receptive allowing. Be inspired to see the questions at hand with a different perspective. Look between the lines for a deeper interpretation. Yeah, all right. So that's a massive message already. I felt like the biggest channels all coming through then. It's really interesting. So cleansing the energy, cleansing the space, all of that sort of stuff to come back into this like glowing, luminous version of yourself. I feel like this is where you're heading. I feel like this is going to help you get there. Perhaps you're focusing on opening up your awareness more, or wanting to connect into yourself, into your inner temple, which is this one here. Through devotion, by tuning into the portal of your heart. But also, when this is happening, you still need to have boundaries, because if you don't have boundaries that are supportive to you, or you have people overstepping boundaries and not respecting boundaries, this whole awakening life force thing can get very convoluted. If there's too much other energy sort of pushing in on you or sort of connected to you, you may have people who are, like your kids, or husbands or partners or something like that, who are sort of like connected to your womb, who are feeding you, or like, sorry, not feeding you, draining you of your energy, which can happen. You may need to have womb clearing, healing thing that came up in the last week's one. And I'm still feeling that for some of you. Cord cutting, and cords don't, cords come in all places. We get them everywhere. They could be on your shoulder or something like that. So you want to do a proper cord cutting kind of thing. I think there's some really good ones on YouTube. I haven't actually got one up yet because I'm lazy. No, it's not that. It's like I do cord cutting differently to other people, and I sort of haven't managed to record the way that I do it because it is a long and involved process, right? But it's one of those things that's just intuitive to me. So it's really hard for me to actually put it in words and explain how to do it to other people. So there's other people who have, really good cord cutting stuff that's on YouTube, or maybe in a book or something like that as well. So let's have a look at these other ones. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Yeah, all right. So this is why they're asking you to bring this energy in, to be the most activated version of yourself, the most luminous version of yourself, to be really clean and clear as a channel for divine energy, because there's something new coming in. Like there's this new world, new creation, something, a new version. That's what I'm getting. It's sort of like your next expansion will take you to, your next highest version. There's always another one, right? We can always change, but this is something that I feel like you will want to feel like this for. So they're kind of giving you a heads up and saying, hey, why don't you do this now? And then you're prepared, so that when it hits you, you don't go, oh, I should have been doing this, I should have been doing that. If you are tuning into your heart portal and all those kinds of things, you'll be doing it anyway. So, all right, let's have a look at the tarot, even though I feel like I've been reading for about an hour. These videos are going to take so long to upload, guys. I try to shorten them, but it just doesn't work. It's not my style. Maybe I should just do like one a day or something like that instead, because my readings go for quite some time. I don't have a timer on there, but once I put them into the what do I call it? CapCut. It's like the thing that makes these videos the right format to go on YouTube. Once I put them in there, I can see how long they are, and I'm like, no wonder I'm exhausted after I finish doing these readings, right? So let's have a look here. Oof. All right, what do you want group 3 to know about this new birthing a new age? Yeah, I feel a lot of magic sort of coming into your life. But I also feel like there's things that you may need to be aware of, like they were talking about the shadow clearing, stuff like that. Like there might be traces of the old versions of you or the old timelines or something like that that needs to get kind of cleared, or you may have, as I said, things coming up to consciousness for clearing and resolution, which means that you might need to be doing emotional processing, sitting in the heart center and just allowing that feeling to come through and feel it. Don't get lost in the thought of it, but just feel it until it dissipates. I had, was it Matt Kahn? Um, there was an email newsletter type thing that he sent out that I read yesterday, and it was basically talking about that. It's like when these feelings come up, what happens if you just sit with them for as long as you need to sit with them? It's usually 10 to 15 minutes at the most to resolve these feelings. And what we're actually doing is like we're closing the trauma loop that created them and why they keep replaying in our minds. So if that happens, it's a really good thing to do. It can be, emotionally draining sometimes, but I think the more that you clear, the more that you heal, and the more that you allow yourself to resolve these things, the less you have, the less baggage you have to carry around, the less heaviness you have to carry around. And in letting go of that, you allow more room, more space for more life force. Um, I'm going to get a few tarot for you, although I feel like this is a fairly, succinct and complete message anyway, to get some details. Uh, All right. Oh, okay. So we got the Two of Cups here. So there could be something going on with a relationship. The Two of Cups is um, a good card, especially if it's in the upright. It means like, your person, basically, or a partnership. It talks about it's the marriage card in traditional tarot. I feel like this is some sort of union, right? This could be. Okay. Oh, that's very interesting. So I feel like this is the messages I've just given you about clearing the energy, getting yourself into the best sort of, physical, maybe not physical shape, but emotional and energetic shape so that you are luminous, glowing, you have confidence and all of that sort of stuff. Um, is because you may have someone coming in for a partnership or a union. And I feel like it's gonna happen pretty damn fast, right? With the Knight of Swords, that is someone who is, it can be a bit impulsive. They can be a bit impulsive. So it's like this energy of, it may be you, it may be the other person being impulsive about coming towards you, or coming towards this new thing, this birthing a new age. It doesn't have to be, as I said, collective reading does not have to be romantic. It could be about rushing towards a new business partnership or a new friend or something like that as well. It just take it how it works in your life instead of, trying to make it into something it's not and then getting disappointed. And trust me, I know how that goes because I did that like for a long time. It's one of the reasons I became a reader, because I realized that there were so many people doing these readings, giving people false hope for romance that's never going to happen, etc., etc. So I try to be I try to be within my integrity and be very real about these things. But look, this could be for some of you a romantic connection that either you or they are rushing towards. It could be something to do with, I'm just getting this like impulsive energy. It's sort of like they're maybe not really thinking through, not really thinking it through, heading towards it real fast, sort of thing. Um, I just heard like I'm on my way. Okay, all right, whatever. Okay, so this for those of you who are looking for somebody or wanting to, you know, have a new partnership in your life or something like that, then that's a good sign for you. The third card that came up there was death and rebirth. So I feel like this story so far is really talking about how quickly things will change because of this union, and how being prepared energetically, having your boundaries up so that you're not agreeing to things just because, you're a people pleaser, you love them, you're an empath, those sorts of things, like having boundaries around the rules of engagement kind of thing, I guess, and being really tuned into yourself so you know who this is and what's going on and all that sort of stuff. So that you can choose, like, you don't have to choose to go that way, right? It could be something like that. It's sort of like discernment. The word discernment's coming through. It's about being discerning about a partnership or a connection. And like I said, partnership does not necessarily have to be a romantic thing. It could be a partnership as in business, it could be friendship, it could be many different ways that, you could have a kind of an energetic union with someone, right? Um, let's get some more cards on this. Maybe I don't give a damn anyway. Ooh, quirky voice. River, and it washed me so far away. All right, what have we got? For others of you, I feel like this might be a change in partnership, something that's, a change in your direction as far as this is concerned. Cups is about, it is about love, but it's also about emotions and passion. So you might have a change of heart about something. It might doesn't necessarily have to be about um unions or partnerships or anything like that, but it could be like, maybe, there's a situation where you've been offered something and you're like, you were originally just going to jump into it, and now you've stepped back and gone, hang on, that doesn't sit right in the temple of my heart, or I'm not quite ready to commit to something like this, whatever that might be. And it's changed things. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups in the upright, we have the King of Cups in the reverse. Let's see, and we have the Tower. Not quite sure what that's about. I feel like this is a big change coming in. Obviously, we have the Death and Rebirth and the Tower in the same reading, so that's quite a lot. But I feel like with the Queen of Cups, this is talking about, being tuned into that again with the devotion card, the inner temple, the portal of your heart. That's what the Queen of Cups is. She is tuned into the portal of her heart. She's very when I say she, could be anyone, but it's an energy, right? It's an energy of someone who's very tuned into the subtle energies, who's intuitive, emotional, able to feel things and notice things that other people don't notice. So this could be maybe you, or it could be just an energy that's in the world, in your world at the moment. And then we have the King. So it's really just looking at that, I feel like this could be two people. It could be your inner, this is what I was getting, was your inner feminine energy is all good. She's like upright, she's working and all of that sort of stuff, but the inner masculine is in the reverse position. So this is like someone who's keeping their emotions in, or maybe it's you, there's parts of you, it's like not taking the action even though the energy or the emotions are there. So this is really interesting. So there's going to be a change in that anyway, right? Somehow, some way, the Tower is bringing in, sometimes the Tower can mean like a divine intervention. Well, actually, it always does, but in some ways, it's sort of like, I don't know. I'm getting, we often think of the Tower as something negative, whereas I'm getting for this, it may be something that is sort of like that feeling when you meet someone who you just fucking know, right? And it's like that, woo, that life force energy comes shooting through you, and it's sort of like that kind of connection. That's what I'm feeling here. For some of you anyway. And like I said, does not have to be romantic, could be friendship. I have friends like that. I feel very blessed to be able to connect with people in that way and really like be like, we're open hearted and we can feel each other's energy, and we know when we get near each other, we kind of like pump each other's energy up because we're similar frequency. So it's sort of like, oh yeah, oh yeah. It's the bit of that energy sort of coming through. So however that works for you, that's what I'm sort of getting with this tower here. I feel like it's interesting here, right? We're looking at, we've got the Two of Cups, really colorful. Death and Rebirth, really colorful. The Queen of Cups, really colorful. But we have the Knight of Swords, no color, or not no color, but it's not bright and shiny. It's like a different kind of feeling, a different kind of energy. Um, all right, so as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, so for some of you, this could be someone, it almost looks like running away. I got what I was getting as I was looking at that. It's like there's a connection or a union. This doesn't, this might be a different, this is a different storyline to what I was coming up with before, but someone running away from that, someone tapping into that swords energy, the overthinking, the negativity, making them run. This coming up as a change because they're sitting now in this energy. And when I'm talking about this person, this could be you, this could be a person that you are connected with in some way. So changing back to this sitting in the, what do they call it? The portal of your heart. And I'm going to read out of that book in a minute. So for some of you, this is someone coming in and it's going to be one of those things where it's sort of like there's nothing's going to stop this union from happening. And when it does, things are going to change, right? But for some of you also, this could be talking about a current connection where it kind of felt like someone was running away, or there were certain situations where you wanted to run away. It was kind of impulsive, like maybe you were getting triggered, maybe there was red flags, and I try not to use the stuff that everybody talks about on the virus language that's on, social media and things like that. But yeah, maybe that's what was happening, or maybe it was just this really impulsive kind of thing to bail. That's what we're getting. It's like someone bailing, someone who has lost the color out of their world because they're focusing on something that isn't life force energy. They're focusing on something that's kind of draining the life out of them. And, as I say, this doesn't have to be another person. This could be an aspect of you. But I do feel like there's this big change coming in with the Tower and the Death card, both sort of pointing towards that. And in between, we have the feminine energy of the Queen of Cups and then the King of Cups, who's it's repressed, it's underneath the Queen of Cups energy, so not taking action on something. But I feel like that's set to change with the Tower. Okay. um More on this storyline. Group 3, show me what's happening after the Tower. This tower could be the expansion that they're talking about as well, because sometimes when you have that aha moment, when you sit in your heart center, you have this like amazing awakening. It doesn't happen all the time, right? But sometimes this just happens. You just have this awakening. It's like spontaneous. And it is a bit like the tower hit, because it's like, source or your soul has just sent you this massive download message and everything changes because of that. Um, so let's see what's happening after the Tower. What does the Tower show us? I just feel that it's a big change for you guys. I do feel like that message to be prepared, both energetically, physically, however that works for you, is something that's really important here. I feel like it's going to help you stay aligned in your own sort of heart and soul. Let's have a look. Do you have any more messages for Greg? Okay. we have 10,000 cards here. No, I mean, no, that's a few too many, but we have, all right, anxiety, depression, insomnia. All right, so something's going to happen with the tower. That's kind of, I don't know. I feel like this is sort of like a past energy. Maybe this is something that was going on before the death energy or something. It's going to change. The change is coming, right? And then we have judgment in reverse. So it's like, what am I seeing here? It's judgment in reverse. This is sort of like allowing the ego to rule, perhaps. This is where the anxiety is coming from, but I feel like this is what they're pointing at that is changing, that's going to change through your awakening awareness and through, doing the energy clearing and bringing in more life force energy. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles, just weird. All right, so I feel like this is more the message here. And then we have the Seven of Wands. So this is you sitting in your own energy, ignoring all the, I'm sorry, but I just have this thing about calling wands dicks, right? All the dicks. It doesn't necessarily mean to be, sexual, but all the dicks that are trying to poke at you, they might be dickheads, people with stupid energy, overwhelming messages, things like that, right? This is you just sitting there. I feel like with the judgment card in reverse, what I'm seeing is sort of like it might be sometimes when we see the judgment card, it's like understanding that it's time to let go of the past, and sort of step into a more soul-based version of yourself. So letting go and letting God type energy. With it in reverse, though, I feel like it's something to do with trying to control things. This could be a warning that trying to control things too much is a little bit pointless because things can happen anyway. They're saying like focus on the positive stuff, focus on the bringing the life force energy in. See what else has come up here for group 3 because this has gone very odd. Very odd. So for some of you, this could be about a relationship that has not been working, or it's like something, or connection or something like that, a partnership in some way. It could be business, could be friendship, could be a family thing, could be romantic as well. But I kind of just feel like it's been causing a lot of grief, a lot of like, maybe sleepless nights, crying yourself to sleep. I do feel like that's in the past, though. It doesn't feel like future energy. I feel like this is sort of like you're awakening to understanding how letting go of things can create a completely different sort of timeline. Because then when we have the Ace of Pentacles, this is the beginning of something new, right? This is planting the seed of something new. And then we have the Seven of Wands, which to me, I mean, it's different in every deck, but just the energy, pardon me, I've got the hiccups again. Um, this is very much I'm ignoring everything that is kind of trying to get into my little bubble. And I feel like this is where we go. It's sort of like being in our own little creative womb energy and not wanting all of these things that are distractions. Like it's very sort of pointed energy. It's like, lots of people trying to get in there, give you ideas. It could be just, aspects of your own ego fucking with you, basically. But you are choosing to stay in this illumined safety bubble. So this is having the boundaries, right? Planting new seeds, having boundaries around certain things, which I feel like it's like when I'm getting this, when I see those sticks, I feel annoyed. Right? It could be like overwhelming amounts of texts and stuff like that from maybe from one person, but this sort of looks like it's coming from different places. So this could be things coming in from energetically from all sorts of places. It could be also, you know, different people's opinions and different people trying to give you advice on how to do this or how to, you know, how you should be living and stuff like that. And you're just sitting there going, no, fuck you. I know what I'm doing. I know my soul path. I'm just going to sit here and listen instead of listening to all of the bullshit outside noise that pushes me out of alignment and then makes me have to go and do all this energy clearing and shit in the first place. Right. So I feel like this is a new part of stepping into this new version, this new timeline, this new awakening, and birthing this new age is you not letting things get to you. It's you understanding how to have the boundaries that are coming up in this reading, right? So we have the hangman that's just popped out, the hanged man. This is sort of like stasis, staying still. I feel like in the stillness, this is, yeah, look at that. It's sort of like you may be in that hermit mode, or you may want to go into that hermit mode so that you can divulge what sacred wisdom really has to tell you. What song is this? It's hilarious. Sorry, it's Alice in Chains. She ain't right. She ain't right. So that might be a message for you. As I was hearing it, I was thinking like, thinking about you as the viewer, thinking you don't feel right. But as I read it, I was like, it's sort of, you know, like this, she ain't right, whatever she's saying, you know, it's like a tuning out the gossip type thing. Um, yeah, it's sort of like that was the message I got from that was like, whatever they're saying is not right, it's not right for you necessarily. It doesn't mean it's not right, it just means it's not right for you. Anyway, so yeah, this sort of stasis to find the light, right? Sometimes we need to do this. We need to go into meditation or sitting centered or being out in nature doing something that's kind of how can I put this? Something slow and deliberate, again, with the consciousness thing, right? So this could be you finding the sacred wisdom within you to bring you this light, this aha moment, this understanding that you may be looking for, or just this awakening. That's what they're saying to me. They reminded me this is about an awakening. This is about an expansion into the next highest version of yourself. Or yeah, it could also be an expansion into the next version of this partnership union situation as well. So this could be you pulling back to remember how to be yourself, but still be in connection with other people. I know for a lot of people who are empaths, myself included, sometimes it's easy to get caught up in other people's whirlwinds of energy, forget who you are in a way, and sort of be sucked into that whole doing things uh that benefit other people because that's what we like to do as empaths and people pleasers, right? But also sort of like doing it to the point where you don't feel like you're getting anything out of it. We have to remember reciprocity in our relationships, and it's a hard lesson sometimes, but it is one that we need, and that may be what the boundaries are about, like having reciprocity, not overdoing, not overgiving, having boundaries around that and being able to enforce those boundaries in a way that's, you know, it's gentle, but it says, no, I'm not going down that path, right? You are capable of doing that. So that could be something that's coming through here as well. For some of you, let's get a few more messages for group 3, and then we'll close this message. Biggest message coming through though, guys. clearing the energy and bringing that life force energy back into your life, back into your body, back into your surroundings. Remembering that there's joy and life and love everywhere, no matter what's going on, really. It's easy to get too caught. It's easy to get caught up in stuff, right? The world, the stuff around, the outside noise, the inside noise of your ego or your, your wounded parts all freaking out about things, anxiety and that kind of stuff as well, the monkey mind chatter. So, well, that's a lot. I think we might just not do that. Let's have a look and see what else. What's the last few messages for group 3? There we go. Moving away from troubled waters. Okay, so however this lands in your life, however this is going to come through for you, this awakening to a more expanded version of yourself, or the higher, the most highest, your next highest version. Sorry, I can tell when it's time to stop doing the reading because I start to babble. There's a lot of like energy messages still going around in my head, and sometimes getting them out is a little bit difficult. So the 6 of Swords, right? This is moving away from whatever trouble you've been in, and that's what they're asking you to do, right? They're asking you to prepare to change, but it's positive change. They're asking you to come back into yourself so that you have discernment, and to remember your boundaries so that you can birth this new age. Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. I'm kind of getting the urge to read from the book about the birthing the new age, but I don't think that that's I think like this is probably already long enough. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. You got something out of it. Don't forget to leave me a like or leave me a comment if you've got something, you want to say. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because that way you can get notifications when I put new readings up. I am intending to do more readings, maybe just like general collective and stuff like that soon. So keep an eye out for that. And if you're interested, subscribe, and then you'll know. And thanks for watching. I love and appreciate all of you guys. And yeah, have a good day. I'll see you next time. Bye.